Hello everyone, I am here with author Neal Shusterman at Mysterious Galaxy Books. So thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
So first you talk a little bit about what Scythe is about.
Scythe is about a world where we've gotten everything that we want. A world without war, a world without disease, a world without hunger, a world without racism, and a world without death. And in this world, since we've stolen death from nature, we are left as the ones who have to administer death. And so there are these characters that are kind of like the Jedi of death, and they are called Scythes, and it is their job to select who lives and who dies.
Which character was your favorite to write, and which one was the hardest?
I would say my favorite character to write in the series so far has been the character of Grayson Tolliver. He's in Thunderhead, the second book in the series, and he is a fun character to write because of the changes that he goes through. He has a really big character arc. The most difficult one to write would have to be the character of Scythe Goddard, because he is so evil. He's such a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he has a very twisted philosophy that makes sense. I mean, he can convince you to his way of thinking, and that's what makes him scary. And it's hard to write a character from that point of view where you can be so manipulative of people's minds.
What was one of the biggest differences between writing Scythe and Unwind?
I would say the biggest difference, it's hard to say. The difference between writing Scythe and Unwind, I mean, I'm still in the same, I'm still focusing on the characters of the teens. It's more to me the similarities in terms of, I mean, from the writing perspective, I am trying to tell stories that challenge readers to think. And so even though the stories are very different, there is that sense of there being a unifying thing about them, in that they are stories that challenge you to think and will hopefully keep you turning those pages. I'm thinking of that question in terms of all of my books.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there is, for me, something just very similar to all of them in that they're stories that I'm passionate about, and I am trying to sort of create a forced perspective to look at our world through the eyes of, in these stories, a futuristic world.
Is there an obstacle that you faced as an author that you didn't expect, like maybe when you first started writing? Anything that has come up while you're writing?
Deadlines.
Deadlines.
I guess I should have expected deadlines, but deadlines, that's a big obstacle. And who is it? There's one author, famous author, says, I think it was Douglas Adams who said, I love deadlines. I love the whooshing sound they make as they fly past.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way it is.
Do you think our modern world needs a Thunderhead?
I think it's better than the alternative. Artificial intelligence is going to, there's no question, there's no way around it, it's going to become ubiquitous. And when we have a ubiquitous artificial intelligence, either it's going to be good or it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we're gonna have a little bit of both. I mean, anytime there's technology, technology always comes with a good side and a bad side. The hope is that the good side of artificial intelligence will be more powerful than the darkness that comes with it.
Yeah.
So I certainly hope that that the Thunderhead, when we have an artificial intelligence that becomes conscious, which it's very possible that it will, it ends up being something good for us rather than something that wants to destroy us.
Yeah, as we've seen in other stories and stuff. So in this world, there's an importance with writing. For instance, the Scythe journals. What impact do you think the written word has in like a high-tech world? Rather keeping a physical journal rather than, going online and typing and stuff.
Well, the Scythes like to do things the old-fashioned way, at least the good Scythes.
Yeah. And
they recognize the importance of that. And I tried to put a little bit of that sensibility in the story for readers to connect with. The idea of handwriting. And their journals all look like old-fashioned leather-bound journals.
Yeah.
There's something very tactile that we lose when we do everything digitally. And I wanted to sort of just point out the importance of that nature of writing.
What other books or authors have inspired you?
Oh, I've been inspired by authors, many different authors, from Tolkien through through Stephen King. When I was in high school, I remember I read Stephen King and had to sleep with my lights on. The Stand. The Stand and the Shining just terrified me. And Kurt Vonnegut is a favorite author. People have asked me what Scythe I would be. I would be Scythe Vonnegut.
Even that's a great name. Like that
yeah,
just sounds so cool.
Yeah. He has a great name. John Irving. Douglas Adams, which I mentioned before.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different authors that have inspired me and continue to inspire me.
And what is coming up next for you? What is in the horizon?
Next, coming out in October, is a book called Dry. And Dry I co-wrote with my 26-year-old son, Jared. And it's basically about the California drought, what happens when we actually do run out of water. And it's basically kind of a zombie apocalypse story.
Nice.
Because what happens is, in the story, the source of the Colorado River is basically, it's shut down from Nevada and Arizona, collude to shut off our water. And that creates this cascade effect of municipalities shutting down water to towns so that they can use it for emergency services. And over a period of just a very short time, people in Southern California start dying of thirst because they can't get enough water. I mean, you have 23 million people trying to get water, and you can't get water fast enough if the taps are all shut down. And so the story is about several teenagers who band together and try to escape, to try to get to water.
Wow.
And the situation keeps getting more and more dire as people start to turn into water zombies.
Water zombies.
People who are dying of thirst, who are
Yes.
willing to kill anybody for water.
To get it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, one last thing that I wanted to do is that you have the website Ask the Thunderhead, which you wrote the responses for.
Yes.
Right? So, during
AskTheThunderhead.com.
his event, I went around to some of the readers and asked them to write down some questions that they would want to ask the Thunderhead. So, I thought it would be fun to kind of go back and forth and type in some of the questions that the readers asked today. Okay. So, the first question someone asked is, will our hearts be broken with book 3?
Will our hearts be broken with book 3? The Thunderhead says, your inquiry leaves me at odds with myself, because although I would prefer to answer yes, I cannot do so in good conscience, because the true answer is no.
Ooh, that's a good one. Am I raising my children right?
Am I raising my children right?
There we go.
An interesting question. I hope you don't mind, but I've locked the door to prevent anyone from disturbing us while we discuss the answer.
Ooh. Next one is, are the Scythes good?
Are the Scythes good? How charming and quaint of humankind to ask such a question of me. By all means, keep asking. I find it greatly amusing.
Ooh. Will my life be okay?
Will my life be okay? If I answer no, will you reconsider the current direction of your life?
That's a good one.
The Thunderhead knows.
The Thunderhead
knows.
He knows all.
I am creeped out now.
This one is, do you think you have an end? It's like asking the Thunderhead.
So does the Thunderhead
have an
think
end? He
has an end. I must say, if I were capable of being offended, this question would offend me.
Oh.
Were I anything but good and wise, I might strike out in anger against such a question and obliterate the asker. Thank goodness such a reaction is not in my nature at this time.
These are so fun. And then the last one is, was humanity meant to never die?
Was humanity meant to never die? Your question belies a deeper issue, does it not? Perhaps you'd like a private session with me to help you ease your disquiet. I see that your schedule is free at 7 this evening. I'll block out an hour to discuss the root of your question and all of its implications in detail.
Wow. That was a good one. That was great. So guys, I will leave a website down below so you guys can go and play around with it.
And have fun with it.
Yeah, it's so great. Thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome.
You guys need to go read Scythe and Thunderhead. They're absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.